Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Dead Meat, the kill count for the 1984 spectacular Children of the Corn. Now, you're probably wondering, and hey, Fox, why aren't you checking out that Thanksgiving kill count that I did just the day before this? Well, simple. I decided that Thanksgiving one to be a personal one, something and that all of us can watch without having to worry about a reaction or people's opinions or anything like that, to just enjoy it for the kills and the story behind it. And plus, it came out on Thanksgiving. And so I'd recommend actually checking it out with the family if you wish. But either way, I digress. Let's hop in and see how these Children of the Corn popped on screen. That was actually kind of good. Popped on screen.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made.
Oh.
I'm James A. Janice,
There
and
we
today
go.
we're looking at the original Children of the Corn, released in 1984.
Spectacular.
We've got ourselves another Stephen King story here, a 1977 short story that was first published in Penthouse, and later included in the collection Night Shift. That book, which can be seen in this movie as an Easter egg, also featured Trucks, which King himself would later adapt in his only directorial effort, Maximum Overdrive. We made you! Stay tuned for that one as the final
deal.
kill count of 2024. I promise you, it's
Oh,
a wild one.
it's
Children
gonna
of
be
the
the
Corn
final
follows a
kill
couple
count.
who winds up in a small Nebraska town controlled by youths. These little bastards make sacrifices and worship he who walks behind the rows. They're led by Isaac, who is just the sassiest little bitch.
Question not my judgment, Malachi. I am the giver of his word.
Bless that little devil child. I think a lot of people consider
I like
this a
that
classic,
voice.
probably because of the opening scene. But honestly, it's pretty slow and boring. There are way more exciting King adaptations out there.
Oh, jeez.
The script is plodding
That's
and
kinda
the
hot.
direction is mostly flat, sometimes just straight up bad. Like, what is this framing? Why are
Actually, quickly to explain the whole thing of Maximum Overdrive before they actually get to that movie later, like they said, it's just vehicles given life. That's it. And the only explanation is a strange comet passed by and suddenly vehicles were now alive. And that was it. And nothing else. It was just poof.
all that headroom? They altered King's story by adding 2 kids as audience surrogates, which sucks. I don't want to listen to a kid narrate a movie or watch scenes of them playing board games. Monopoly's boring in real life. Why would I want
Hey, I
to watch
like
some
Monopoly.
shitty little kids play it? The score does a lot of the work here, lending an eerie soundtrack to otherwise uninspired scenes. I guess it's fun to see Linda Hamilton literally months before The Terminator came out, but yeah,
Oh, that's
overall,
cool.
this doesn't do too much for me. Children of the Corn is one of those franchises, fam. The kind with an endless march of sequels into the corn. As of now, there are 10 more movies after
Oh.
this one,
10? 10! Good God!
including a 2020s reboot. Although, to be fair, I don't know how serious some of these are. I mean, the 9th movie, Children of the Corn Runaway, doesn't even have a Wikipedia article.
Wait, doesn't Dead Meat also not have a Wikipedia article?
Yeah, 6.5 million subs? As you probably guessed, we're
guys
only
can make
looking
one
at
for
the first
yourselves, you
movie
know.
right now, but I'd love to dive into this franchise sometime. I remember Part 3 Urban Harvest being fun. It has a teenage Charlize Theron in a small role. It's pretty cool. For now, let's see what happens when we get a bunch of... Oh,
Ooh.
Jesus. Who the
That
hell
was
are you?
creepy.
Oh, sponsors? So
Oh,
does that mean you're here
who
with
is it?
today's sponsor, Ridge? Yeah, well, I guess that sounds fine. I mean,
alright.
I've loved my Ridge for years. I spent a long time trying to make the classic old wallet work, but it was always clunky and making my pockets
I don't think I'll
bulge.
test
And sure,
this
for a
one.
while I put up with it, figured it was just what you had to do to hold everything. But now I'm able to fit all the cards and cash I need. Oh, and recently I started using their key case
bad.
too, so my keys are nice and organized now as well. Well, whether
shall
you're
we
looking for
spread?
your own Ridge or looking to gift some to a loved one, now's the perfect time. Because right now, they're offering up to 47% off some of your favorite items
Hey,
when you
that's
go to
pretty good.
ridge.com/deadmeat. So, that revolutionary enough for you?
Uh,
Yeah. I guess
Yes?
so. You know, our company uses production codes for our videos, and this one's was Child Corn before editor Josh...
yeah, definitely need to edit that, because, oh dear, that is one letter off from getting the FBI on your door. Oh dear God.
wisely suggested we change it. So, thank you, Josh. Let's get to the kills.
Yeah, probably should have named it something like Corn Children or something. That's at least technically better, I think.
The movie begins
Maybe. I
with
don't
some
know.
singing of the corn. Nah, give me the kids' choir.
Ooh, there we go. Dry and dusty.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a simple theme that rules, just like this movie's opener, which takes place in Gatlin, Nebraska 3 years ago. Yep, that's what the screen says. We're told what happened in a
Okay.
voiceover by a little church boy named Job.
He was pretty smart, my dad.
Not smart enough to realize this diner's getting invaded by youths, especially this kid. That is just like central casting bad kid, right?
That's also the one that we saw earlier called Malachi? Malachi, yeah.
Right there. At the behest of a hatted ghostly boy, the kids lock the
That's
diner
Isaac.
door and poison the coffee.
Good coffee.
You wish, lady. The adult diner patrons start to hack and cough thanks to all that
Poison!
Good
Then
thing
the
I
evil
don't
little
drink coffee.
kids take out a hidden arsenal and attack the adults as Job and his milk mustache watches. We see a bunch of kills here, some from the poison, others from
Adults
being
of the
stabbed.
corn.
Holy shit, they stick this one guy's hand in a meat grinder, like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler. It's actually pretty fucked up, the way these kids just did a whole fucking terrorist attack. I'm gonna go ahead and count all 18 adults we saw in this place, even though not all of them are shown being killed. And sorry,
that's
Job,
fine.
but we've got one more kill for the count. Yo mama, whom we hear getting killed over the phone. I'm counting her because we saw her at home watching Job's little sister Sarah. The day
Oh,
of the Great
no.
Grown-Up Massacre was inspirational for Sarah's artistic career.
That's when Sarah started drawing these pictures.
The coloring sucks, sure, but the lines aren't too shabby. Good enough to throw some opening credits over them. I've said it a
Yeah, it's
bunch.
good enough.
This opening sequence is great, and the rest of the movie is mostly a bore. I think it's because this was director Fritz Kirsch's first feature film. He was a TV commercial director who was hired when a close contact of his became executive at New World Pictures. New World had bought the rights from Hal Roach Studios, which initially had different plans
Oh.
for the movie.
He had an idea to reinvent the Little Rascals through this. No one wanted that.
I think Kirsch's inexperience drags the movie down.
Dude, I never watched the Little Rascals, but even I know Little Rascals plus Murder, probably not a good mix now, is it?
But I truly love how proud he is of having made this film. In present day, a couple is headed to Seattle so Bert can start work as a physician. Sure seems like Bert and Vicky have got the life, with Linda Hamilton waking him up with a little singing number. It goes on a little long, but you know what? She commits to it. It's fine. She's more committed than Bert anyway. There's tension between them since he hasn't proposed to her yet. On their way to Washington State, they cross into Cornland.
Corn!
No, Jonathan, stop! I mean Gatlin, the nicest little town in Nebraska. Isaac rules over it after having had all the adults murdered. One kid, Joseph, doesn't like it and decides to escape with the help of Job and Sarah. But they're too little to
that's
take
good.
along with him, so he leaves them behind. Sucks to suck, suckers! Joseph cuts through the cornfields, which is a real dumb idea. There are spiders in there and chanting on the soundtrack that might be saying, mongoose? And broccoli cubbies? Weird prayer. There's
I
also
heard
a murderous
something.
child of the corn there, who kills Joseph and sprays his very red blood all over his suitcase.
Ah,
well, hey,
damn.
now he'll be able to tell it apart at baggage claim. Bert and Vicky, let's call him Bicky for short, are looking at a map.
Vicky.
when- holy shit, they hit a kid in the road! Holy
Oh!
dick! Bert finds Joseph's dead body, not realizing at first that he was
already
already
dead.
dead and placed there before he hit him. And that's the kind of Three's Company misunderstanding that'll, you know, leave you with some trauma. Bert quickly realizes this kid came pre-killed when he sees his slit throat and bloody suitcase in the cornfield. See, it stands out. While he checks on that, Vicky checks on the body.
I'm so sorry.
Haha, never mind, it was just a dream. Director
It was
Kirsch
all
told
just
Linda
a
Hamilton
dream.
they had a mannequin under the blanket. She didn't know it was a real kid until he jumped out at her.
To me, that's the best scare in the movie.
That's how you do it.
They put the boy's body in the boot to take off towards town, opening his luggage for clues. Oh look, a corn cross.
Jesus Christ.
Not in my book.
Oh, you're not down with Jesus Christ? Job and Sarah are in their old house doing all sorts of
Mazes
things
Okay, that was clever because that's the technical name for corn.
that Isaac
Wild
forbids,
corn.
like listening to music, playing games, and dressing up like they're putting on a production of On Golden Pond. Their characters were created by screenwriter George Goldsmith to help introduce the audience to the story. Goldsmith replaced Stephen King, who had written a draft of the movie that wasn't very cinematic. Apparently, the first 35 minutes were just the couple arguing. Yeah, sounds like a Stephen King novel. The author
It
wasn't a fan of
surprisingly
Goldsmith's
does.
revisions.
He and I had a phone call where he said, you don't understand the horror genre. And I said, you know, no disrespect, Mr. King, but I'm not sure you understand cinema.
Angry
Cool.
Ginger Malachi interrupts the fun times and tells them game over with a knife. He shoves them into Isaac's office and gives a stupid little bow before handing over Sarah's prophetic drawing of Bert and Vicky's car. He confirms her vision is true since he saw the car after slitting Joseph's throat in the field. Vicky gets to a gas station with ye old horror movie harbinger.
What about Gatlin? Gatlin? There ain't nothing in Gatlin.
This guy
pass
Deal
it right
tells
on
them
through,
to
though.
keep going
Don't
to
stop.
Hemingford and sends them on their way. But that's not good enough for the children. Or the weather? It seems like the weather's getting pissed. Deal starts to hear
God.
kiddos and swears he's been Field.
I never told him nothing. I swear it. I kept our bargain, just like always.
But then he finds the bloody handkerchief of his dog Sarge who had run off with him.
No!
He's about to have a Farmer Green moment and rip this corn out with his bare hands. He ends up in the barn where he has a showdown with the killer kids, mostly consisting of close-ups. It ends with him running off screen and onto the kill couch. The only shot we get of his body is but a bloody arm. At least it was a strong arm.
Why would they
Deal was
kill the
played by
dog?
R.G. Armstrong, who was also in Predator as the guy who recruited Schwarzenegger for the mission.
Oh,
Isaac
that's
gives
killer.
a sermon to all the shitty little kids about their good God.
In the dream, the Lord did come to me, and he was a shape. It was he who walks behind the rose.
These blind kids all follow
Okay.
the leader in their love for quirky Vegas acts. Oh, they must only like one of the men's solo careers.
You mean the
This
cop?
blue man is a cop they've killed and crucified. But, I mean, look at it. That is textbook Bastard Skelly right there. I don't care
Oh,
how much
yeah.
you dress him up with clothes like a person, he ain't going on the count. Although, turns out he almost did qualify, since the scene was filmed with the character being killed in a police station. But
Hey.
it was ultimately cut for time, so fuck him. Isaac tells them
Ah,
what's
well,
the
okay.
word. The word up
I'll give him an honorary spot, though.
is that they've cast out Joseph the Betrayer. Then he uses Malachi's intel and Sarah's drawing to prophesize that two outsiders will be showing up soon. Sounds like a great gift for their lord.
Make sacrifice
One day just
unto
pass me
him.
through.
Bring him the blood of the Outlander. Praise God. Praise the Lord. Praise God. Praise the Lord.
While Stephen King's script
Oh,
was a political
damn.
allegory having to do with the Vietnam War, screenwriter Goldsmith had a different inspiration.
Children of the Corn was really based on the revolution in Iran and the taking of the Americans as hostages.
He compared Isaac to the Ayatollah Khomeini, Malachi to the
Okay.
Revolutionary Guard, Bert and Vicky to the American hostages, and even the gas station owner to American oil companies. It all makes sense, but of course the movie also works as an exploration of any kind of blind faith, regardless of
Yeah,
sex. Since the
true.
road signs have been fucked with and the cornfield makes for a shitty highway, Vicky ends up going to Gatlin, which is a complete ghost town. I've been through tiny towns on road trips before, but none quite as dead as this, or as murdery. Hey, I see you two back there. Yeah, go home to your parents. Oh, or wait, you.
Yeah.
The couple still
Ain't
gives it
no
the old
pens in
college
this
try,
town.
hoping to find a phone, but instead find fucking just lots of corn everywhere.
What is it with this corn?
I mean, where do you want to start? Government subsidies?
This is literally like in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Popcorn! Why is it all popcorn? 'Cause they're clowns! In this case, it's just corn. Why is it corn? Because they're children.
They start to leave empty-handed until they notice movement in a house on the edge of town. Wait, Bert, you can't just walk into someone else's house.
No, just
You never seen
leave.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Malachi's probably waiting behind a sliding door with a
Corn.
sledgehammer. Just kidding. I don't think that kid could swing a sledgehammer. They find a bunch of drawings and the little girl who drew them, Sarah, listening to a record in her room. She tells them all the adults are gone and that Isaac is their leader. Yeah, maybe just turn around and leave, Vicky. Instead, this
Get the
idiot
hell out,
tells
though.
Vicky to stay with Sarah while he walks back to town by himself. Great idea, dude. He scopes out Gatlin.
Oh, damn it.
They teach corn, worship corn, and, trying to mail
Mail
corn? He checks
corn?
out City Hall,
Okay.
but, I don't think he wants to meet their mayor. Dude looks scary. The house that Vicky's in gets surrounded by armed corn kids who scale the roof and pry their way inside. Bunch of little corn ninjas. She finds them waiting for her downstairs, and then they chase her into a room and do a mini shining shot.
Damn.
The lamp attack has less AoE than she hoped for, so they seize her
Lamp
and carry
attack.
her away. Sarah shields her ears from more chanting on the soundtrack. After shooting
Good
his
music.
rap, director Kiersch brought on composer Jonathan Elias, who had worked with him on commercials. It was Elias's first feature film score, and he did great.
Given
Oh, damn
what
right
the
he
time
did.
frame, what the budget, what it was, I'm pretty proud of that score.
As he should be. The budget was so
Hell yeah.
low, he didn't even record the kids' choir parts in his studio. He had to bring them to his house.
Back then, I think I did all the kids in my bedroom.
Oh, ooh, hold up, dude. Phrasing. The kids
Yeah,
take Vicky back
phrasing.
to Isaac and put a little corn crown on her. But there is tension within Corn Kid leadership. Isaac doesn't like that Malachi killed the Harbinger.
And did you not spill the blood of the old man when his oil and gasoline were still useful to us?
We have our own fuel now from the corn.
Oh shit, y'all going ethanol? Bert gets back and kicks his way into the house.
Oh, but
where he yells
did you see that car? It was just full. It had a corn block.
at a tiny little girl until she says his lady was taken away. The corn stalks appear to open for him as
Ooh.
he heads into the field to get his corn girl back.
Very
They're making
well.
her corn on the cross though, just like their old pal Blue Boy. Or Blue Man, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Man.
Those kids do love those guys.
Blue Bed Group, I was just about to make the pun.
Bert pops out of the corn at the church, where they have my single favorite shot in the movie. We love the Sabs! Oh, wait, someone's filling up a corn cup with chest blood? Never mind, these shots are pretty cool too. Bert walks in on it and tells them to stop, prompting the ire of Corn Kid Lieutenant Rachel.
Hold the Outlander!
Back off, you
I love
children.
that he's like, what the fuck? You're kids. Get off me. He just walked in on a birthday party. Amos here is turning 19, graduating out of the child part of the Children of the Corn. Can't be having young adults of the corn, except maybe for a reboot on CW. It's
Oh, I can
tradition for
see
these
that.
kids to be sacrificed when they reach 19, just like it's tradition to stab adults in the chest. Oh,
Damn.
Bert ain't about to let a kitty-sized stabbing stop him, though. He pulls that shit out and waves it at the youths, then just runs the hell away.
Who's gonna
They
cut
chase
me?
him, but that stab ain't doing shit to slow him down. Thankfully, he trips over nothing, since
Oh.
this is a horror movie. And between that, their enthusiasm, and sheer
Damn.
overwhelming numbers, they're able to surround him at an intersection in another cool shot. Wait, but then they lose him again? God, kids are so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, except for any who watch our videos, you guys are cool. Man, this whole movie is slow, but
Yeah,
this
no
is when you
compliment to
start
me.
to realize that nothing really happens in it. Like, Bert is able to deter
Damn.
Malachi again, but then runs face first into a pillar? What are
Damn.
we doing here? He finds Job, who hides him away in a cellar where he and Sarah live.
Isn't this neat? My dad built it. It's when the communists launched the first strike.
I don't think it's the communists we have to worry about, Joe.
Unless you hate music,
Yep.
the communists have the music. Gatlin was played by 4 different towns outside of Des Moines in southwest Iowa.
Oh,
They
that's
included
actually kinda
Hornick,
cool.
Whiting, Salix, and Sioux City, which was also where the cast and crew stayed at Howard Johnson's. They got to know the communities they shot in and cast local theater kids. The townspeople were excited for a movie to shoot there and gave them a lot of friendly support.
No problem. And we'll
That's
make a cake
actually
for
really
you.
nice.
And afterward, could you come to barbecue? And then we're having casino night.
They were so kind and wonderful, and there was one town that just said, "Oh, here, have the town. We'll leave."
Production didn't have to build anything.
That's actually really nice. It's just like, hey, you need time for this movie? No problems. And they all just left. Oh, that's how you know you got some kind people.
And only needing to dress abandoned buildings that were already slated for demolition. The only problem they had was with the corn. Kirsch wanted his characters marooned in a sea of corn, but they found a lot of the cornfields in the area empty. Part of the problem was that there was too much corn in the country, driving prices down, so the government was paying farmers not to grow it.
There were so many farmers who were calling us up, they wanted us to burn their
Oops.
corn because the prices of corn were so bad, they figured they'd make more money renting it out to a movie company.
And the corn that was there was at the end of its season and turning brown by time production began.
Yeah,
you can
you can
actually
see
see
that.
that in some of the super wide shots. For closer shots, they'd go in and literally spray paint it green.
Our art
Ooh.
department was out with green paint, spraying
it's already gonna die.
fields of corn and try to make them look green.
Back in the cornfields, Nick feels his flock falling away from him.
Not blaspheme, Malachi. You know not the laws. He speaks them only to me.
I think not, Isaac. You are the one who's lost favor with them.
The argument erupts into
Ooh.
full-on mutiny, with Malachi beating him down into the ground. The little man throws one more tantrum, trying to retain control.
I am the word and the giver of his laws. Disobedience to me is disobedience to him. Do it now, or your punishment shall be 1,000 times 1,000 deaths, each
Meh.
more horrible than the last.
But Isaac's a yapper, and Malachi's a doer. And he's got that 40-year-old looking kid backing him. So the
Oh,
others
yeah.
all switch sides. Damn, not even a schism or nothing? I guess they all want a savior. Say fuck that. Or suck that, to censor it for the kids. Isaac and Malachi are
I
two
don't
of the
know.
best parts
I
of this
don't know.
movie. Even Stephen King, who did not like the film, complimented their performances.
And you just said, that Courtney and I did a great job and that we would probably go on to do better stuff.
Actor John Franklin was quickly cast since he was a 23-year-old man who could convincingly play a child.
I have growth hormone deficiency, so that's why I'm really short and 5 foot and look young as a result.
He even came pre-styled. He had just done a commercial for a Star Trek Atari game, and his hair had been cut to look like a Vulcan. He'd returned to the series in Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, which he co-wrote. He was also, at one point, supposed to be the voice for Chucky before Brad Dourif redubbed the role. Child's Play's director Tom Holland still had him voice the scary-ass giant Chucky in the commercial.
Good guys say 3 different sentences.
Oh,
we
yeah.
even turn our heads and blink our eyes when you talk to us.
We've seen Franklin on the kill count in Tammy and the T-Rex, and his other credits include Cousin It in The Addams Family and its sequel. Meanwhile, Courtney Gaines was 19, an actual teenager who got into character by psyching himself up as they walked through the cornfields to set. His intensity goes back to his audition, where he pulled out a prop knife and grabbed one of the casting directors.
He pretty much, quite frankly, shit his pants.
Gaines has consistently worked his entire life, including in Rob Zombie's Halloween, but only the director's cut, since he's one of those gross prison guards whose rape scene led to Michael's escape. The kids tie Isaac to a cross as he screams in futile rage. He'll be sacrificed to He Who Walks Behind the Rose alongside Amos, who's here reporting for duty. Amos is played by John Philbin, whom we just saw as one of the punks in Return of the Living Dead. The good kids and Bert run through town at maximum little kid speed, which is, you know, pretty slow, until they get to a barn that lets them see far off into the field. That corn party looks pretty fun to the old Burtmeister, so he sets off to join them as the sun goes down. By the time it's dark, the kids are ready to greet He Who Walks Behind the Rose.
He's come to welcome me.
Now, if you thought these corn kids were full of corny shit, you've got another thing coming, because their corn god is real, and possibly a graboid? Either way, we hear Amos get killed by him off screen.
Oh,
the dirt shifting effect was done with an upside-down wheelbarrow on a wooden track in a ditch. They had a canvas over it covered with loose soil and vermiculite, then pulled the wheelbarrow with a cable on a tractor.
So for about $100, we made this monster.
Isaac continues to scream as He Who Walks Behind the Rose appears as... Man, I don't even know what this staticky ass effect is. And that color on it? Yeah, this seems like they couldn't come up with anything good. Except this effect as Isaac dies.
Looks like it's just a whole bunch of mold.
Well, damn! Cross straight up into the air. Bert busts in and hits a kid with a pipe to rescue Vicky. She runs off as they surround him, but he defends himself with that pipe and some Sunday schooling.
Any religion without love and compassion is false.
Malachi tackles him from behind, but the grown-ass man obviously gets the better of the teenager, just backhanding him over and over again. But when the time comes, he refuses to kill Malachi, which gives these bloodthirsty kids some pause. Pause enough for someone else to join them.
Malachi! Oh.
He wants you too, Malachi.
And I thought that kid was creepy before. The pet cemeteried Isaac grabs Malachi and kills him by breaking his neck. Yep, that's it. The neck snap. Malachi's death was supposed to be more elaborate, but they changed it to a neck snap to save time. In fact, a lot of the final act's effects got cut for time. It was a big disappointment to Linda Hamilton, who has called Children of the Corn her worst film. The rest of the plot scatters and takes cover as the weather picks up. Judging by the air pressure, I think they've got an angry god on their hands. Job tells Bert that before he became a skelly, that cop tried to stop the kids and their god by burning the field. Bert figures that's a bright idea, so he decides to try it himself. He heads out with an irrigation hose, but the stalks and leaves in this place aren't gonna let him off so easily. Good thing they're just plants, so he cuts his way out of them with a blade that might be small enough for Boy Scout regulations. He hooks the hose up to what it needs to be hooked up to, I don't know, farm stuff, and then follows Job's instructions and cranks that bitch up. Better hurry, dude. The crappy looking He Who Walks Behind the Rose is almost here. And it is, yep, real weird looking. This effect was done by injecting ink in liquid. I guess it looks okay. Way better than these slowly bending corn stalks, which are just not scary. Bert tosses a gas bomb, but not far enough. So Job retrieves it and runs it back like a little Olympic torch runner.
Try again.
Kid's like, try not to fuck up this time, okay? He does it on his second throw, successfully landing an explosion on the evil god and lighting it on fire. Or at least lighting his cornfield on fire. That thing is a motherfucking inferno right now. Oh wait, I think their god is literally blowing up. Yeah, is that his face in the mushroom cloud? Why does it look like the Grinch's face? Oh man, maybe don't try to make this movie in 1984. Those explosions were done with big bags filled with gasoline buried 6 to 8 feet underground. They exploded upward, mostly as planned, but the cameras caught it at the wrong angle, possibly due to brandy consumption, so they added some effects on top of it later. Bicky and the kids escape, but find that their car has been completely corned. The next town is 19 miles away, but they decide they can make it on foot. And great, now I guess they're adopting these kids. I'm sure that won't cause issues later that you're not considering right now. Before they can make off all in the family, that Rachel kid reappears, a true believer. I alone the best. She tries to kill Bert one last time, but he just knocks her out with the car door and they leave. Seriously, that's the end of the movie. Hey, at least they're leaving her in there with the windows down, you know? Wouldn't want her to overheat or nothing. How many people became corn fertilizer thanks to some evil kids? Let's find out and...
I think it was like
Oh
Dottie.
my god, no. Oh, it's he who counts behind the rows.
Damn it, James.
I counted 24 kills in Children
Oh,
of the
only
Corn,
24.
the vast majority of them in that opening scene. There were 9 female victims and 15 male victims, giving us this corn pie chart. Wait, is corn pie a thing? I'd eat it. We've seen this count and breakdown once before.
Well, it was cornbread.
And the guy who didn't like musicals. Don't believe me? Go watch that episode. Maybe a few times. And with a runtime of 92 minutes, Children of the Corn had a kill on average every 3.83 minutes. I'll give the
Not
Golden
bad.
Chainsaw for coolest kill to all the victims in the opening scene collectively. This opening
Oh,
is a
yeah.
great little horror short. It's legit creepy. Dog Machete for lamest
Shoot,
kill will
shoot.
go to Amos, sacrificed entirely off screen with nothing but sound effects. And that's it. Children of the Corn came out in 1984, but the sequels didn't start until the 90s. You know, that's always a good sign. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
On the next.
Alright, well, before we end off today's video, let's see what will be next on the Kill Count.
Kill Count.
Help wanted. Video services for one day.
Discretion is appreciated. Whatever that means.
Location, a creepy mountain cabin.
Wait a minute.
The client, the nicest guy you can
Oh,
ever
I
meet.
know this movie.
Even if he's a little jump scary sometimes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Keep doing that.
Creep has become a cult classic in its own way.
Yeah.
A horror fan found footage favorite.
Would you mind telling me about it?
I'd love to. It follows Aaron, a videographer who gets hired off of Craigslist by Joseph, a dying man looking to record some final words.
Yeah, supposedly
like that
dying.
Michael Keaton movie.
My life?
Well, I was talking about Beetlejuice, but okay.
It's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Problem is, Joseph is eccentric, to say the least.
That's what it feels like when you feel like you're gonna die.
And as the day goes on, he only proves to be more of a creep.
Hello, my name is Peach Fuzz. I might look like I eat you up.
Please stop doing whatever that is.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, this movie is very crazy. I don't remember where I had watched it, but I had watched it already.
Sorry.
With just 2 dudes and a camera, you might not think Creep has a lot going on.
There's nothing we can do.
But it's a great, tense, low-budget thriller anchored by Mark Duplass's unsettling performance.
It's incredible, isn't it?
So this week, grab a fuzzy friend and watch Creep.
Why wait?
Then on Friday, creep on to the Kill Count, only on Dead Meat.
This is gonna be a good day.
I think in that movie there was only like
featured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the
3
movie for yourself before
kills?
it's kill count.
I
It's the
don't
only way to have your own
remember.
properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks a lot for watching this.
Alright everyone, well that's going to be the end of today's video and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out, peace.